The state has accused her of being part of the illegal gambling ring conspiracy that landed suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez behind bars. Now West 2 Investigates is uncovering more information about the co-defendant, Ying Zhang, the only one who has not been booked into the Lake County Jail. West 2 investigative reporter Justin Shecker is live for us in Orlando at one of Kate's businesses, Kylan Realty. Justin, what else have you learned about her?
Well, Stuart, first off, we only know this co-defendant's name because when Governor DeSantis suspended Sheriff Lopez, he included this unredacted court document displaying her name. Now, West 2 Investigates has learned 2 contractors from this business filed civil complaints against Ying Zhang, and now Orange County deputies have opened a separate criminal investigation. Her name is now blacked out because she's the only one of the 6 co-defendants who has not been arrested.
The first co-conspirator being Miss Zhang, also goes by Kate.
The statewide prosecutors say they have numerous text messages between Kate and the suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez.
Those direct text messages evidence that he was using his influence as the sheriff even prior to election, indicating he was very respected in his community to facilitate the illegal enterprise. There's screenshots of slot machines and things of that nature in those text messages.
In the state's document laying out 26 predicate incidents for bringing racketeering charges, prosecutors say Lopez and Kate engaged in money laundering in October 2019. After the arrest of his estranged wife, the statewide prosecutor said they have a 2019 email between Kate and Robin Lopez containing a W-9 tax form. Mrs. Lopez's defense attorney Michelle Yard says her client had nothing to do with a conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling enterprise.
The case is going to be progressing now with or without Kate.
A source told West 2 Investigates Kate is believed to be out of the country and living in China. On Colonial Drive near Pine Hills in Orange County, Kate ran Kylan Realty with Julius Melendez. He's the former Osceola County School Board member who is Lopez's campaign manager during his first run for sheriff in 2020. Melendez has not been charged in connection to the state's racketeering case. The Orange County Sheriff's Office provided us this incident report filed in June. Deputies are investigating. Melendez claiming Kate forged his signature on complaints from state business regulators. They were sent to Kylan Property Management in late May. Melendez writes, "I did not sign either of the documents. This is very alarming since this is a formal complaint by the state of Florida, and I am unaware of how many other documents were signed on my behalf without my knowledge." West 2 Investigates uncovered 2 civil complaints filed against Kate in Orange County in 2023. 2 independent contractors from Kylan Realty accused her of fraud and breach of contract. Last November, the judge entered final orders that Kate owes those 2 plaintiffs a combined $300,000. The full extent of Kate's role in the alleged illegal gambling ring is in the sealed 255-page affidavit, which Attorney Yard has read.
There is certainly a very thorough investigation that has been completed in the last couple of years on these alleged gambling establishments and their ties to the other co-defendants.
And we should mention the United States does not have an extradition treaty with China where Kate is believed to be right now. I did reach out to Julius Melendez requesting an interview today, but did not hear back. For West 2 Investigates, I'm Justin Shecker. Back to you.